Hi, and welcome to example 2 of making bar graphs. This video walks you through a second example of making bar graphs. However, if you'd like to see the first example and learn how to read and interpret bar graphs, please view my video titled Bar Graphs first. Alright, let's make a second bar graph. The data below shows the lengths of 4 rivers in the world. We want to make a bar graph of the data. Well, the first thing we should do is understand the data being presented to us. So taking a look at the table, the very first column lists the names of the 4 rivers we're going to graph. The second column lists the lengths of each one of those rivers in miles. Remember, the first column of data are normally plotted along the horizontal or the x-axis, while the second column of data are normally plotted along the vertical or y-axis. So let's go ahead and start by labeling our horizontal axis with the river names along the bottom. Once those are evenly spaced, add a title for that data. Simply calling it rivers is fine. Now let's figure out our scale for the vertical axis. We always start at 0, so let's add that at the bottom. Next, we need to see how many vertical lines are available for plotting on our graph. So let's go ahead and count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we want to evenly space the data out among those 9 lines. To do that, simply take the largest number you need to graph and divide it by 9. In our case, 4,132 miles, the length of the river Nile, is the largest number we have to graph. So we divide that by 9, we get 459.11. But intervals of 459 or even intervals of 460 are kind of awkward. So we're going to round all the way up to 500 because it's easy to write multiples of 500. And we're going to do that by starting at the first line with 500 and working our way to the top. The largest number on our graph now is 4,500. Don't forget to add a label for those numbers. It's the length in miles. With both the x and the y-axes labeled, now we can create our bars and add them to the graph. The yellow river is 3,395 miles long. Locate that value on the vertical axis and draw a bar from 0 up to that point. Very good. Now let's graph the other 3 bars. The Amazon is 3,976 miles long. Now, we can't be extremely accurate on our small graph because each interval represents 500 miles, but that value is very close to 4,000. So we're going to graph just short of 4,000. The Congo is 2,922 miles long, and here's the bar for that. Finally, the Nile is 4,132 miles long, and here's the bar for that. Very good. Nice looking graph. It's almost done, but something's missing. What's missing? That's right. To complete a bar graph, you have to add a title. Let's call it the lengths of 4 rivers. And we're done. Congratulations. You completed the second example of making bar graphs.